point they told me that we need to arrange a meeting with the minister. But I told them that the solution is not a meeting with the minister. The solution is, first of all, to listen to the farmers, to understand the challenges and the problems that the farmers want to be addressed. And then we talk with the technical officers. So that when we are going to the minister, we are going to the minister with resolutions which we have already agreed on and also informed by technical input from the technical officer. Because the way government works, if you come to me and I don't have the facts, the technical facts, then I send you to the technical what? Officer. But if we go through the technical officers, when you get now to the level of the minister now develops a cabinet memo. And then he brings to cabinet, and then we pass, and then after that it is implemented. So we are using a much better what? A much better route. And that is why when I got the memo from you, I shared with the minister, and I told them that we are having a meeting with the farmers. I want technical officers from the ministry to come and have a meeting with the farmers. And that is why the minister, Lenturi, together with the PSS, gave me this bright man and lady to come and talk to you, because they are the wearer of the shoes and they know where the shoe does what? Pinches, and what needs to be done to amend the size of that shoe. And that is why they are here. Two, I want to thank you for also getting time to come. I know it is a rainy season, perhaps some people should be weeding, but it is also important that we have this discussion. As representative of government in this region, I've made a deliberate decision that where there are issues in any sector, I will go ahead and assist the president by having a meeting with those sector stakeholders and reaching out to the line ministries so that we get solutions, so that we don't overload the president with many issues which are not yet processed. We go to him at the level of cabinet, issues are passed in cabinet, and then his work is now just to append the what? The signature. But I've also heard that you have not had the opportunity to meet the president. Yes. And that one I'm taking it upon me to arrange the meeting. So what we will do, because Nairobi is fairly crowded, when he's coming to Nyanza next time, which is in about another 1 month, we will arrange a meeting between the president and the farmers, either at Kisumu State House, or if he's in Kisii, then Kisii State House. Okay? But now, not to bog him down with these technical issues, because now these issues will be work in what? Progress. Isn't it? Yes. But just to meet him, to have tea with your president. Yeah? Isn't it? An easy meeting. An easy meeting. Yes. Quite a number of you, we have walked a long journey with you. You remember when we were, during the campaigns, we had got those bottom-up economic forums, where we were seeking the views of various sectors. Sugar sector, cotton and rice were some of those sectors. And you remember we met up the hills at Susan Owio. Yeah? I remember you were there, Yeah? Engineer Ondis was there. Yeah? And you had a discussion in the presence of the president, and we agreed on the way forward. That is what has informed our economic blueprint for this area, for Nyanza. We have got issues to do with agriculture. And within that, we have got sugarcane issues, we have got cotton issues, we have got issues to do with rice, tobacco, sim, avocado. And I want to encourage you also to consider uptake of some of these emerging crops. They have got a lot of potential, like avocado and even sim. Okay? Now, what we are going to do in this region as the Kenya Kwanza government is exactly what we promised the stakeholders of Nyanza, the farmers inclusive. You remember we went ahead and signed charters. You came to Nairobi, we signed the president signed economic charter. That is what we want to implement. And that is why these technical officers here have even been having a meeting with our economic advisory team, chaired by Professor David Ndi, which I was also part of before I was appointed the minister, so that we see how to implement our economic what? Agenda. That is what we want to do in Nyanza. We are not going to do any politics between now and 2027, as Ongo has told you. We want to address the issues, challenges facing the common what? Common mwananchi. And the president has given us the script, and we have taken the cue from him, that the work, the mandate of the Kenya Kwanza government right now is to address the challenges facing the common mwananchi. And as his appointees, we are ready and willing to do everything that is humanly possible to make sure that within this term of the current Ruto government, we have fundamental change in the Nyanza region by way of economic development. Are we together?
Yes.
We want to turn around the economy of this region. Issues agriculture, issues tourism, issues fishing, issues infrastructure, including electricity, roads, water. We are going to sort out all those issues so that one day in history, it will go down the annals of history that William Ruto and his government changed the economy of Nyanza. And that is what will translate to the pocket. Tangible benefit to the common mwananchi. Are we together?
Yes.
So we are no longer interested in retrogressive politics day in, day out. That one we have done for the past 60 years. It has not taken us anywhere. Let us talk about politics of the economy.
Yeah.
Are we together? Siasa ya uchumi. Ili pesa ingie kwa mfuko. Mfuko ya mkulima, mfuko ya mwalimu na wengine. Sawa sawa? Hiyo ndiyo siasa ambayo tutashughulika nayo eneo hii. Siasa ya kiuchumi. Siasa ya maendeleo. And I'm appealing to you as farmers to help us create an enabling environment. You are an integral stakeholder in Nyanza because the backbone of this region is what? Agriculture. Isn't it?
Yes.
So help us create an enabling environment for the government to deliver on its potential. Are we together?
Yes.
The government can only work when you are also receptive and creating that enabling environment. Part of that environment I'm talking about is being willing to talk to government the way now we are talking today. Not talking at government. Talking to government. There's a difference between the two. Yes? Yes. So we no longer want to see you people around the Chemelil roundabout with pangas. Yeah? I want us to be having meetings and sitting down with these technical what? Officers, and then we talk, we agree on the way forward. Sasa mimi kama mtu ya mkono, kazi yangu ni kuenda huko juu, kuongea na mwenzangu Linturi, and then he does a cabinet memo, analeta huko bunge, huko ekulu kwa cabinet, mimi naunga yeye mkono na tunapitisha. Na rais anaweka nini? Anaweka sahihi, halafu inaenda bunge. Si ndio?
Yes.
That is what we want to do. And I can assure you that the president is very passionate about turning around the economy of Nyanza. Yeah?
Yes.
And we will do it.
Thanks.
During these first 5 years of Ruto government, we are going to do it. Sasa, this is what is going to create food on the table by enhancing production. We go back to the farm to sort out problems. Lakini ukibeba sufuria tunaweka kwa kichwa. Hiyo itakusaidia kweli? Mama akitafuta chakula, wewe kama na mwanaume unaenda nje unatafuta kazi, unarudi na nini? Na chakula. Sasa wewe hata umenyang'anya mama sufuria ndio So let's go back to factory settings. Yeah? And work with the government. Let nobody cheat you that there will be any other government between now and 2027 or any other election. This is the government, this one of William Ruto. He has given us an olive branch to work with him, irrespective of the voting patterns we witnessed in the last elections. Let us have some reciprocative, positive gesture so that we support this government. Are we together?
Yes.
Wangapi wamekubali kwamba tufanye kazi na serikali ya Ruto? Tumekubali?
Yes.
Sawa sawa. And you know also government is formed through political what? Parties. You go into a political party, you go into elections and form government. Just the same way I'm telling you to support the government, I'll also appeal to you. Ingia kwa chama ya UDA. Because that is the party that is in government now. And let me also steal for you the exam, because I know the secret. Let me give you more Kenya. This Ruto government will also form the 2027 government. Based on delivery to the common mwananchi, based on performance. We will deliver to the people and we will get a resounding yes vote again in 2027.
Yes.
Sasa tutafanya kazi na serikali ama tutashinda kwa mwaka 10 tukibeba sufuria kwa barabara? Ha? Lakini huyu mwenzangu ni kama anataka kubeba sufuria kwa barabara. So, my brothers and sisters, let's work with the what? Let's work with the government. I can assure you that your issues this time round will be sorted out as farmers once and for all. We have got a president who is also a farmer. We have a president who is a Christian. We have a president who is a transformative leader. And we have a president who speaks the truth. When Ruto tells you something, it is as good as law. He will go ahead and implement it. If he doesn't want something, atakwambia hii wachana naye.
Factories are owning farmers large sums of money in arrears. Farmers are asking for support in form of machines and fertilizers to help them increase the acreage and income. Farmers noted that government-owned factories have no boards of directors. Therefore, the policy matters are handled haphazardly. They are requesting for an urgent appointment of board of directors for state-owned factories. Farmers requested that infrastructures within the sugarcane growing areas be improved. Number 2 is rice. We held several meetings with rice farmers from Hana and Kisumu on different dates. The following issues came up for your consideration. Number 1, farm inputs. Rice farmers across the region are pleading for support in form of farm inputs, which includes quality seeds and fertilizer. In Oluch Kimira irrigation scheme, farmers recently suffered severe damage of the crop by hailstones and are in dire need of support of whatever magnitude. Number 2, rice farmers are requesting for fertilizer and pesticide support through your coordination. 3, since farmers are small scale, they are requesting for small rice mills that will help them process their rice and retain the byproducts for other agricultural related uses. Number 4, rice farmers are requesting for support in form of tractors which will help them increase the acreage, the timelines, therefore increasing the volume of harvest and income. The details of this will be shared. 5, there is suggestion that the apply all farmers, rice farmers believes that a very organized market will increase their income by reducing post-harvest losses.
Since 2013, sugar industry had a very good structure called Sugar Board. Kenya Sugar Board had growers directors. Tuko sawa? Yes. Farmers were able to elect their directors across the board. But after 2013, we went under AFA. AFA has served that for some time, and we are not opposed to it, but there need to be some changes. In the Kenya Sugar Board, farmers used to elect 7 grower directors. And in the same aspect, farmers under Sugar Board, we used to have a very important component called Sugar Development Fund. Today, sugar industry is suffering, like my colleague has said, because there is no fund. There is no fund to help develop sugarcane. Under Sugar Board, there was that levy of 4%. That levy of 4% was brought together, and it was in terms of billions, which was able to help factory rehabilitation, it was able to help cane development, it was able to help infrastructure, it was able to support the sugar research. When I was here since that time, all these things have crumbled. And we are pleading that yesterday and the other day, we were with the committee of Parliamentary Committee of Agriculture. They are going around collecting views on privatization and also on the sugar bill. So farmers have agreed wholesomely that they want Kenya Sugar Board reinstated so that they are able to elect their director. And they will be able to get the fund that was missing. So that is part of our cry that we will reach to bring to your attention. I come from the Nyando Sugar Belt when I was here. Nyando Sugar Belt had one of the best factory called Miwani. We were there the other day. Farmers of Miwani are pleading with the government for the revival of Miwani Sugar Company. Again, under Nyando Sugar Belt, we have Moroni Sugar Company which collapsed, but to date is still under receivership. Bwana Waziri, that receivership, the farmers yesterday were also pleading with the government that curtain of receivership, it's a high time They have been in under receivership for almost 30 years. The curtain there is that they are unsecured creditors. We are pleading with the government that protected receivership, there are very few unsecured creditors who are still holding Moroni Sugar Company in that position. So we are pleading with you, Bwana Waziri. And that's why I was saying from you to the CS of Agriculture to State House, we'll be able to salvage Moroni to remove that curtain of the receivership, because the power rests with the government. So that is part of our plea. And again, on the same aspect, that we are happy that part of what has been read out by Friday, the government gazetted boards of Sony, gazetted board of Chemelil. For the first time I come from Chemelil, I'm happy that at least farmers from Nyando Sugar Belt were represented. I believe the chairman of Sony Sugar also come from Sony. So, Bwana Waziri, we appreciate and take that appreciation to His Excellency the President for having done that. Now, our factories, as we are talking now, they are dead. Like Chemelil, there have been change of management. There have been a lot of fight between farmers supporting who and who. For us, we are supporting the government on the current managing director in Chemelil Sugar Company. We are pleading that the little debts are there about 200 million, Bwana Waziri, ipewane. Sony pia iko na debts about 600 million. We are pleading for at least support on those areas so that Sony farmers can be able to be paid their arrears and Chemelil farmers elsewhere. So I think those are some of the areas that we wanted to bring so much. But for us, we are in full support that there is a need to reinstate Kenya Sugar Board. Farmers will be able to elect their grower directors and will be able to have that fund. As at now, we are under AFA, Bwana Waziri. Under AFA, we have something called commodity fund. The terms under commodity fund, Bwana Waziri, it's so difficult that Sony Sugar, status of Sony Sugar, they cannot meet that threshold. Chemelil cannot be that threshold because it is about their financial status and their financial position as at now. The fund is there, but the terms are so difficult. But when you are under Sugar Board, that sugar fund was managed by the portfolio manager at Sugar Board. They were able to get that money for factory rehabilitation and other things. So those are some of the areas that we will wish that needs to be attended to. Then there is this issue of the issue of the cess money. Farmers across the board are being deducted cess money. This was under Local Authority Act. When you went to the county government, it is still being deducted. There used to be a committee where farmers were also part of the committee to see how the money was being managed. Today, that money, whether you go to Migori, you go to Kisumu County, across the board, the money is now being used by the county government to pay the salaries. And that was a contribution from the farmers to support the roads. Today, hatuna mabarabara. So wholesomely, that we are pleading that government have many funds across the board in support of roads. But for this was a specific contribution from the farmers. They have not seen it today. So we believe that intervention needs to be done urgently so that we are able to move on. And finally, is that sugar production is very heavy. I support that farm machinery should be zero rated. When farm machinery is zero rated, then we'll be able to reduce cost of production because it starts from there. That is why our sugar in Kenya is highly costly than the imported sugar across the board. So I just think, Bwana Waziri, is that finally, Sony Sugar, Chemelil Sugar, the government has been pumping money year in, year out, but the results are never not there. The truth of the matter is that there must be a change. When Buka was managing Sony, it was a wonderful world. When Buka was in Chemelil, it was wonderful. When Buka was in Mumias, it was wonderful. When Meta was in Moroni, it was wonderful. We have agreed that we have lost direction somewhere. The issue of leasing or privatizing, there are ton issues. Leasing first started well, but it was chaotic by court cases. To date, there are 7 cases which have stopped there. The government cannot move. You try to go privatization, they tell you, talk about the land. You cannot produce when you don't use the land. We must make sure that we merge the two. And my position today, farmers, is that if we can be able to source back Buka, who was managing Sony on behalf of the government, things were going very well. Farmers were being paid, workers were being paid, taxes were being paid. Today, most of these sugar factories, they don't even pay taxes. And that's why the president is very serious that if you don't pay taxes, how do we expect? Every time there's an idea, You give them 300 million today, 5 months down the line, recovery is down. They cannot manage it. We have to accept that Sony, we gave out the land. The issue is about the management. Hatuna shida. What we want is to get back Sony the way it was. Get back Chemeli the way it was. Get back Murori the way it was. The shortest term. But this aspect of struggling, listen, land is ours. You privatize, how do you want the government to help? You must give out the land. And this land, the way they manage it, it was for the benefit of the industry, because the industry requires land, proper land. So hii mambo ya kuvurutana Sony ati mambo ya shamba tuachane. Let us agree, give the government go with that we source for Buka to come back manage. We get that. Now finally is about the issue which has been raised here. The constitution today, like parties, we have many parties. People are being elected even in the independence. We as organization, as a Tiang, I'm national chairman of CASA, we are saying, finalizing that we be allowed to do what we can. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much.